You Got the Power, the radio show where everyone grows. Take back your life with Dr. Iyanla Vanzant. Friday mornings, 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Right now, I have a sister friend on the telephone. A sister friend is one that you care about and look out for and that you hold in the light always. My friend on the phone is Lisa Raye, the star of the WVON reality show, Lisa Raye. Now, that show, I'm told, grew out of some pretty ugly experiences that Lisa had in her own marriage, a relationship that kind of went sour. And Lisa has not been shy about sharing her mistakes and her lessons. She has been in a healing process and has had the courage, because it takes courage, to share your process with a national television audience. We respect her for that, and we welcome her to the show. Happy Friday, Lisa, and welcome to You've Got the Power.
Thank you. Good morning to you. How are you? Please, I'm Lisa Raye. My friends do.
Yes, I do. You know, I thought your name was Lisa Raye. That's how you always address yourself, right?
Well, a lot of people think that my first name is just Lisa, but my first name is Lisa Raye.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Lisa, you have been so generous and upfront about your mistakes and your challenges, you know, being married to a prominent man whose life fell apart and almost took you down with it. Now, we've heard the rumors and we've read the stories, but if you had a Reader's Digest version of your experience, what would you want us to know?
Well, it was a phenomenal opportunity, an incredible opportunity that no other black actress have ever had to date. I am the first African-American actress to be a First Lady in history, the second actress in history to be a First Lady, and the first one was Grace Kelly. And that was 50 years to date when I got married. So the opportunity itself was just such a challenging one that kept me in awe. Like, is this real? It almost felt like a fairy tale, you know, because you don't get married for the title of becoming a first lady, you know. It was not that. It was I met the man, and we made a connection and then decided to further the relationship into marriage, and then, bam, this first lady position came about, and it was like, wow, okay, what do I do with this? And so what I did with it was what I knew to do with it until I perhaps had someone from the country come to me and say, well, First Lady, we'd like for you to embark on these business opportunities or these charities. And that never happened. I never had anyone to come to me and tell me anything. So I kind of did what I kind of knew I could do like the back of my hand, which was entertainment and tourism. I raised tourism 41%. I started a great campaign, ad campaign, that featured myself in it, and it was phenomenal. I started the film festival. I helped with the music festival. I brought the country's first and only carnival that they've ever seen. I've built a theater there called the El Rey Cinema. I've done some things that made me proud, and you know, and I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be loved, embraced, respected, and I think I've done that. You know, did everyone like Lisa Raye? No, you know, when you keep it real, I was in politics with him, so everyone don't like politicians, you know, and I learned that as well, because being an actress or being a sex symbol in my career did not help me as being a first lady. I had to shed who that person was and that person that I built to be and become this first lady, which was quite hard and difficult.
Now, Lisa Raye, let me ask you a question. This is a hard question, so I want you to forgive me up front, okay? Were you out of order when you went into this relationship? Were you in your life, in your mind, in your heart, were you out of order or were you in order?
I think half and half. I think that I had always prayed to find my Prince Charming as someone to take me away like Calgon, if you will. You know, you always want someone to, you know, you wanted to read like in the fairy tale books, like, wow, could this be? And he did. He came and swept me away. And it was some connection that we had that made me and allowed me to open up and say, you know what? I can commit to this. I see where we can go. I see what we can accomplish. I see what we can do. And that's exactly what I wanted my marriage to be. I wanted to find someone that I could build with, someone that was on a level in which could lead me, that could guide me, that could teach me, that from his history of where he's gone, that I believe in where he's going. I need to have that trust, that stability.
The vision. Every woman wants a man with a vision. I
saw that immediately before I even knew that he was the president of this country, believe it or not.
Now, let me ask you another question, because we were talking earlier today on the show about internet dating and you know, all of the traps with that. So let me ask you, Lisa Raye, what did you miss? What did you miss that got you into this situation with this person? Because we know online people can lie to us, but you met this brother in person.
Yeah.
What did you miss, my love?
I think because he come from a different country and culturally we were different. So when you meet someone that is financially wealthy, you tend to go, okay, well, this isn't a problem. This is up front, and the whole country knows him. And he's the president, Mike, for goodness sakes. You know, so like, it can't be too much that's hidden behind the curtain.
But was he wealthy?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
He was, okay. Because there are some stories that said he wasn't.
Yeah, the problem came about is how he got his money. Well, I didn't think of that because when I came into the picture, he was this. Money was never an object with us. And I knew that he had business deals, business ventures. And he took me around the island and showed me, you know, babe, this is what I own here. I own 1% of this hotel, of this property. And he was into real estate before he became the president. So, you know, I'm thinking, wow, this is what I want. I want to be able to have a financial portfolio that allows me to sit back leisurely and work when I want to. This is it. And this man has done it. So I'm trying to be taught. What happened was, now with this investigation and the country came forth and said, we now feel that there's been some corruption of governmental funds. Well, for me, that made me go, well, wait a minute. I certainly did not run government, but I was guilty by association of being his wife. I understood that
because of all of the things that you implemented in the government. I mean, in the country, you were also using government funds. Is that right?
Absolutely. And because of being an entertainer, I got a bad rep automatically. It was like, oh, she's Hollywood. So what comes with Hollywood is parties, drinking, smoking, drugs, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. You guys need to know. And I was actually summoned to testify in the hearing. And I didn't like that because in the States you're protected. You don't have to, you know, testify against your husband. But there are different laws, different rules, different everything. And that's what people need to understand and realize, that not only was I the person that was learning all this on my own firsthand, I was like, well, I didn't know any of this, you know, and I was taken back. So when I testified, I said, wait a minute, I was my own millionaire when I met him. I was private plane, riding, and champagne sipping before I met him.
Okay.
I had my own worth, and I wanted to let the people of the island know that because the women was kind of shocked. They were like, well, really? Wow. Now, I did not have as much money as he, and certainly when you marry a wealthy man, you know, your money is kind of no good. You know, it's like, okay, I get that you're making a little money, honey, but what we're going to do and what we're about to do is going to be bigger and better than that. So I almost was like, wow, I almost lost a little bit of myself in that.
Well, you know, that's one of the things I wanted to ask you, Lisa Raye. What did you learn about yourself going through this whole process? I mean, to the beginning, you said you were half in order, half out of order. Mm-hmm. So what did you learn about yourself?
I'm going to be totally honest, that I was not in love. I was not in love. Okay. I loved him. Spiritually, it was something about him that connected me, and he said, I want to marry you with the process of falling in love. I want to date you in our marriage. And I had never heard it put like that. You know, I said, well, you know what? Let me think about that. You know, I can do that. I can do that. So I felt definitely strong enough to make that commitment to step out on faith and say, you know what? We can build this. We can do this, because there was something about him that made me feel that way.
You got the power. The radio show that opens your heart and frees your soul with Dr. Iyanla Vanzant. Friday mornings, 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.